How's it going, everyone? Coach Javi here. Welcome back to the podcast channel. I haven't uploaded in this channel in a long time, mostly because of the whole COVID situation. We didn't have any more guests. We couldn't have any more guests. And it ended up being just Georgie and Moy for the first 3 episodes. But what I wanted to do is, instead of just not uploading anything at all, I wanted to do something that was a little bit more intimate. As you can see, it kind of looks like I'm in like a therapist setup here. Just me talking to you, at least until this whole situation gets a little bit better. Everything's a little bit safer, and we can have some guests returning on the podcast. And then I can bring in some different footballing personalities, coaches, soccer players, and all sorts of different people. So I just wanted to record this little episode as a returning episode, letting you guys know that I'm still here, I'm still alive, I'm still doing really, really well, and just kind of checking in on what I've been up to and everything that's going on. So, what have I been up to? Obviously, everyone in the sports industry has been out of a job for the most part. What I've been doing a lot is I've been trying to learn new skills or do things that I wouldn't have done otherwise had I still been coaching, working full time. So one of those things was yard work and like house maintenance. So I've done a lot of woodworking projects. I've focused on trying to get my lawn back to, well, I wouldn't say back to, but focusing on getting my lawn into like some really good shape so that maybe eventually I can use it if I want to film some individual training sessions or something like that. I've also been doing a lot of individual training sessions at local fields, a lot of videos that are going to come out or have been coming out on the channel, on my main channel, where I'm going back to kind of my roots, back to what I used to do, where I would just do individual training sessions and educational stuff straight to you guys, give you guys ideas for exercises, drills, talking about speed and agility, ball mastery, fitness and conditioning, all sorts of stuff like that. So I'm planning on getting a lot of those videos back out, starting up the channel that way, just going back to my roots, going back to what I used to do from the very beginning. The other thing I think is important is that I've been trying to stay busy, because obviously with this whole crazy COVID situation, everybody's been pretty much locked inside. You haven't really been able to do anything. So I know a lot of people have just been inside doing nothing and mentally just not doing very well. So I think it's important to stay busy. Doesn't mean you always have to be doing something, but try to make the best use of your time, because if not, I feel like you are wasting a lot of time that you could be doing something good, something positive. So one thing that I've been doing is trying to make sure that I have some sort of a plan for the day. So I downloaded this application on my iPhone where it's called Minimalist. I just literally write down things that I want to do the next day, and as I do them, I cross them off. If I don't do that, I forget what I have to do, and then it gives me a reason or an excuse to not do that for the day. So, for example, today I knew was going to be my work day. I've been editing and uploading, multiple YouTube videos, and then this is part of one of the things that I wanted to do today was cross this off my list, is kind of give you guys a check-in, an update as to what I've been up to. So my suggestion for you guys in order to stay busy and to stay motivated is kind of like what I was doing. Try new things. Try something different than you would have tried had you been doing the regular every single day things. That means yard work, trying to learn a new skill like painting, trying to practice a different sport, maybe some sort of an individual sport, just something that is out of your comfort zone. Try to do that to stay positive, to stay busy, but to stay in a good mental state, which I think is really, really important. The other thing is, a lot of you are footballers, a lot of you are coaches. Try to stay in good physical shape. Use this time to get even better when maybe a lot of others are slacking and not really doing anything. I know a lot of people right now who are just going to completely let themselves go. They're going to return to training. They're going to be overweight. They're going to be unfit. Use this time to get into some good shape and be a step ahead when everything goes back to normal. Speaking of things going back to normal, it's going to take a while. Right now, this is the phase that we're in. A lot of you guys know that I'm the assistant coach for Detroit City FC. Right now, we are following all the protocols as far as the government protocols and then U.S. soccer. Anything that U.S. soccer has us doing or has the top leagues doing, that's what we're following along with as well. So it's very, very strict because we're barely just starting to return to training. Give you guys an example of what that means is when we go to training sessions right now, they have to be individuals or small, very, very small groups. Pretty much players within the same housing group can train together. Otherwise, they have to train separately. Housing group, I mean, like if you don't live with a teammate, you can't train with that teammate just yet. Players coming out of state have to quarantine and have to pass, and obviously everyone's going to have to get tested for COVID-19. And these aren't just the protocols that we're following, but these are the protocols that have been given to us by United States Soccer Federation, along with the local and state and federal government regulations. So we're doing our best. We're trying to follow all those. It looks like we're going to return to the individual trainings this upcoming week. And just looking at, for me, it's been a challenge because we're starting to think of ideas of how to run these training sessions and how to plan these training sessions so that we're adhering to the guidelines. But also, more importantly than anything, and the whole reason for this is that we're staying healthy and that we're staying safe and that we're trying to prevent the spread of COVID-19. So it's been a little bit of a challenge right now because I've just been brainstorming ideas, and obviously a lot of the stuff that we're going to be doing has been limited to individual things. You can't share equipment at the moment, so cones, hurdles, agility poles, anything that we use, if one player is using it, another player can't use that. So, and obviously in between all of the exercises and everything, we're going to have to disinfect and sanitize all the equipment. I have to stay 6 to 10 feet apart from the players at all times, and there's only a certain amount of people allowed in the on the training pitch. So it's one of those things that when I'm learning about these new regulations and these restrictions and all that, it's almost like I have to take notes and I have to be very conscientious of all of these restrictions because I want to make sure that everyone's staying healthy and that we're not, like I said, we're not spreading the COVID-19. So that's the most important part. But I am pretty excited because it looks like we're going to go back to the normality of things, or at least what the new normal is going to be pretty soon. We've passed what is the original, obstacle or hurdle or the original hump, and now we're starting to go back onto the decline where things are starting to open back up. All the states are trying to operate a little bit like they used to. And like I said, things aren't going to be normal for a long time, but we just have to adjust to the new normal. So that's one of the things is that as a coach, as soccer players, as footballers, we have to consistently be able to adjust. So what I mean by that is if you guys are soccer coaches and you guys know that you go to one of your training session with your kids and you have a training session set out for 14 kids. You've divided every exercise up perfectly with the amount of numbers that you need. And then you get there and you only have 8 kids show up to your training session. So how do you adjust to that? How do you switch it up? How do you do this on the fly in order to still get a good session out and still be able to coach well and coach these kids and their development? So it's all about adjustments. I'm going to try and be as prepared as I possibly can. I'm going to try and have a bunch of different plans for when we go out to the training session so that I can make adjustments, in case I forgot something or in case some new regulations pop up. But I think that's just how things are in general. Adjustments within not just the footballing world, but in history, things change. If we're sticking to just football, think about, for example, when the offside rule was probably introduced, adjustments had to be made in terms of coaching. When people realized that, defending was probably more important than attacking, instead of having, 6 or 7 strikers back in the day, that's how they used to have it, then people started focusing on a more balanced formation. So it's pretty much just it's an adjustment that needs to be made in a completely different category because you never expected a pandemic to hit like this. But nonetheless, it's an adjustment that needs to be made. My biggest thoughts on that is focus on what you can control and pretty much stick to that. If you can't control it, then you're wasting time thinking about how to control it when you can control the things. When then you should be focusing on the things that you can control. It's as simple as that, really. But yeah, the positive side of this is, like I said, it's allowed me to bring out a different side of myself, learn a few different skills that I wasn't very good at, and on top of that, it gave me a few opportunities to go out to the fields and start getting back into the training video habit, individual training sessions for myself, and hopefully in the future bringing the players back and doing some individual training sessions with the players. Yeah, so that's it. It's a crazy time that we live in, but like I said, it's all about adapting and continuing to stay in a positive mental state so that we can succeed and we can continue to move forward. So, yeah, like I said, this is just more of a podcast that I wanted to go back to checking in and kind of updating this channel and letting you guys know I'm still here. I'm still going to be back and doing these kinds of things. If there's any kinds of topics or anything that you guys want me to discuss more in depth, make sure you guys are interacting in the comment section. And those are some things that I'll take into consideration when I film the next episode. But yeah, it's nice to be back. It's nice to be editing videos again. It's nice to be doing YouTube content again. If you guys are following my main channel, then you know that I'm starting to post a little bit more now. So we'll see how it goes. But I hope everyone's staying safe. I hope everyone's healthy. And I can't wait to see everyone back in the stadiums, fans cheering on their teams, and obviously teams playing in front of fans. See you guys in the next one.